Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to our first session of best practice sharing. It's a first for us, so please be patient with us and with our technology. We have hosted the session because we saw a great need to be sharing all the wonderful projects that you have started putting on social media, and we were so inspired by all of your ideas and great initiatives. So we wanted to start sharing some of them, and with that I will actually give the presentation to our wonderful EDC counselor, Manuela. So welcome everyone to this webinar. We are excited to have you all the way from Lithuania, Denmark, Romania, Germany. Everyone welcome. And we are starting this presentation now. Manuela.
Thank you very much, Ruth, for all the words up front and information about how it's going on here. Hello everyone here around Europe and even around the world. When I see Tunisia and maybe some other participants from other parts of the world. Welcome to our first JCI Europe live session. We are really excited about it. And when you think about why we're doing it here this time, it is because we would not have thought about that situation that we are now in with the Corona situation a few months ago. It is a situation where we are afraid of getting affected or infected by Corona, that we are locked down in our houses, that we can't meet, that our shops are closed, that we have to cancel or postpone our events and academies, etc. So it is a challenging time for us, which really asks us for being creative and for taking different kind of initiatives than we are used to normally. So we really like to talk with you about the initiatives and the solutions that you have started in the local and national organizations already. And first of all, let's start with a short introduction of who we are actually. Or let's say we have here the overview that we have got from you 12 projects from 9 countries. And we hope to get more, of course. 4 of them will be presented today. So you will get to know the project and presented by the organizers themselves. And we also want to showcase the projects not only in here, that you join us live, but we also like to showcase them on our website on europe.jci.cc. So you will sooner or later see them there. And we also have the plan, which we will showcase also to you later, that we create a platform which is supported by JCI Bavaria, where you can collect all the projects, and you can share there also the contacts and also further information and questions, etc. For conducting the projects in your local or national organizations. And I like to also introduce a little bit how we selected the 4 projects that we are presenting now, because here in JCI we have the 4 areas of opportunities, how we say. These are the focus topics where we want to focus on. They are community, they are business, they are individual development and international exchange. So we have categorized the 12 projects and proposals that we've got into the parts of community, business, individual, international, and we have picked 1 project for each of those categories tonight. And to also introduce a little bit in that sense, the international part is what we are doing right now, because we're exchanging the projects and we're collecting the projects all over Europe. And we also have the 1 or other project, which is, let's say, an overall approach. So it's not only focusing on a community approach or a business approach, but it's showcasing a bit all of them. So we also have a project for tonight, which has a category overall opportunity. We also like to share with you that we are planning to continue with that panel with JCI Europe Live. So we will have the next one on Monday, April 20, same time as tonight. And we really ask you and would be very happy if you further share your projects under the certain link. We have a form there where you can just fill in your information. And we're also happy to get pictures or videos, etc. from you, because that makes it easier for us to also share them on social media and our website. So please be curious about what's going on then the next time. And for tonight, you should also know who are the people that are moderating tonight and are your hosts. So this is Ruth. You already heard her in the beginning. So hello, Ruth from Austria. She's EDC counselor this year and responsible for the part of skills boosting. So you can learn a lot from her. Then we have Anna Nikolova from JCI Bulgaria. She's the vice president this year, assigned to Europe, and you can also learn, of course, a lot from her, especially her countries. And the last one is me, Manuela from JCI Germany. I'm also EDC counselor this year and responsible for impact and promotion. And I think now it's time then, we have the goals. That's my last slide. That's the goal why we're doing it tonight. The plan is that we want to collect your projects and initiatives, that we can share it with all the others, and that we can also show what we do, how relevant we are as JCI in our communities and for our businesses. So you see the 4 areas of opportunities again. And we like to support, of course, the people that we have around. So it's to support in the communities, the elderly people. It is to support businesses that are really struggling because they cannot sell their products, or they are not able to produce because they're missing their suppliers. And of course, we like to support the online JCI Live. So also we can't meet in person. So we need to find solutions how we can see each other and exchange together and get things done together, even though everyone has to stay at home. So be curious what's going on now. And I think now it's time for Ruth to explain a little bit the projects and then to get to know more about them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Manuela. Well, we are so excited that you're all here and that we have really 4 extraordinary projects. They were all submitted on the bit.ly link. And yes, we just had the question also in the chat box to be sharing the link. We will share it shortly. If there's anyone that has joined this session and wants to introduce themselves and where they're from, please do so. And please also use the chat box to type in any questions that you have. Unfortunately, as we mentioned at the beginning, we are hosting this session now here because we cannot go Facebook Live. There seems to be a bug on Facebook. So we are still excited that we can host this meeting now. And we hope also that we will not reach the maximum, but the maximum is 100 participants. So if we were to reach it, that would also be very exciting. So welcome everyone. And we've had a lot of introductions already at the beginning, but if you want to introduce yourselves, please do so. I'm going to do just a quick overview of the 4 projects that you will hear about. Every project will introduce themselves shortly, and then they might get a question or 2 from myself, having read all of their project information, and then it's really your time. If you want to be sharing some questions, if you want to know more, please use the chat box and to do so. So with that, we have Nicole here with us with her project Buy a Meal. Nicole from JCI Malta and actually from JCI Levelette. The national board is also strongly supporting that project, and we look forward in a moment to be hearing more about Buy a Meal and what it's all about. And then we have project 2 tonight is Track My Circle from Victor from JCI Romania. JCI Bucharest, will be sharing more about his app that they have created. I'm also very excited personally to learn more about that, and how he created it, I believe, in a hackathon in just a few days. So he will share more about that. We also have Carol from JCI Ireland with us as speaker number 3 and project number 3. And we are very excited to hear more about fight coronavirus with a positive mindset. Carol, looks very nice in terms of our community project in the 4 areas of opportunity that Manuela shared with us. And last but not least, we have project number 4, Jen with us, who will be sharing with us the Digitale Unionabend, just to throw in a German word here. JCI Germany Digital, which actually also inspired me personally to be hosting this session, because that went on Facebook Live, and I saw it and we got really excited. So it's a great project that involved a lot of people, and she'll be sharing more about how they did it and what they did. So with that, I would love to give the word over to Nicole, who will be sharing more about Buy a Meal. Nicole, and please also introduce yourself a little bit more, since we will probably have people coming in and joining and leaving. Please always say where you are, you know, where you're from, and what your project is all about.
Okay, hi everyone. I am Nicole Borg, and I come from JCI Malta. Basically, I'm part of the national board, so I'm the deputy national president of JCI Malta, and I'm leading this project as part of JCI debating and public speaking. But our biggest chunk of the group, so the team that is running the project, a lot of it comes from JCI Lab Lit. So it's kind of being supported a lot by that chapter. Just a bit of background about how we came about with this project. JCI Malta wanted to find a way that we could help the community, especially the business side, because we saw that a lot of restaurants, especially in the restaurants and hotels, were struggling because they were forced to close down, and a lot of people were being let go. And because of that, we thought that we could come up with some kind of project that helps them. And then we decided, okay, so to help them, we need to buy their products. So we decided that, yes, we'd buy their products, but we'd give them to people that are vulnerable in society, that would otherwise go hungry in such a situation that we're currently in. So we started this initiative with public donations. We launched it last week, and in terms of in just a few days, we had raised around 10,000 euros, around 5,000 of which came through public donations, and another 5,000 came through a company. So in terms of how we're running the project, when it comes to teams, we have set up different teams that are taking care of the separate parts, because we didn't realize just how much work, like, you know, when you come up with an idea, you'd say, oh, this is an amazing idea, let's do it. And then you start doing it, and like, oh, we're missing from here, we're missing from there. So we set up around 6 teams now. So we have a team working on social media, a team that is dealing with restaurants, another team that's working with charities that are linking us to the vulnerable people that we're helping. Another team that is taking care of the finances, because there's a lot of, well, finance stuff that needs to be done in terms of taking care of bank accounts, that you'd have an account specifically to receive the donations in, and also to pay the restaurants at the end of the day, because that's the point. And of course the team that is managing the project. And also we just set up recently another team taking care of volunteers. So what we did, and we're also using this project to, as much as possible, raise awareness on what JCI is, what kind of opportunity it can give you, and through there hopefully also bring in some members that are interested in being active in society and learning more. In fact, throughout this project we received 6 or yes, 6 applications for people who would like to volunteer within this project, and we are speaking to them to bring them in, of course, as members, and then taking on maybe further projects in the future as well. Yeah, just in a nutshell.
Wonderful, Nicole. Well, you were already speaking about 6 volunteers. Can you share a little more with everyone how you are bringing them on onto the team, like you just mentioned?
Okay, so we set a specific person to get in contact with them. So first, they applied through our website. So on the same page where people go and buy a meal, they have a section where they can apply as volunteers, and we get an email. As soon as that is done, we contacted them by email and asked them whether they would be interested in a call, just so we understand a bit better what they would like to get out of it as well, because we just don't want to lump work on these people and then they don't feel like they got what they wanted out of the project, out of volunteering. So yes, we did that. We contacted them. We had a Zoom call actually with them last night, and now we're going to be basically seeing what tasks we need assistance with, and then suggesting to them in the chat and getting them on board on what they would like to do first. Because I believe that when you do something that you love in a project, then you're going to enjoy yourself much more, and you'll understand more the purpose of the organization because you'll be more interested in learning it. Basically, that is so far. It's still an ongoing process, so hopefully by next week they'll be even more active, but yeah.
Wonderful. I do have one more question for you, and then there's one already in the chat as well. You talked a lot about involving a team and having a team member for finances and a lot of other things. How do you ensure, especially in this time now, that the team is actually working together? And what are you doing for that?
All right. So in terms of that, we had in a span of a week, we had two 2-hour, I think, long meetings on the project. So we were discussing mainly on what to do, bringing up issues that's cropped up along the way, and discussing how we can solve them. And we made sure that as much as possible we're discussing them together, because when you do that and we discuss these things and solve them, as we're a group of 10 people, we're solving them together, everyone bringing in their ideas, it feels like there's more ownership of the project as well. And so we're doing mostly that. So we had those 2 meetings. Then we also have a WhatsApp group, and it's constantly flashing on my phone. Everyone discussing there. So yeah, those are mainly our main channels. And in terms of the team contacting people outside, of course, we use our emails and calls, and if people would like a meeting over Skype or Zoom, then it's something that we're using as well, because of course we can't go out and meet these people.
Wonderful, Nicole. And I think you shared that it's actually an ongoing project, right? And it will keep going until you don't have any funds anymore, or we all are not fighting with the coronavirus.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you for sharing that. And as a final question for you, before we move on to the next project, I got a private chat asking how many meals have actually been bought to date. If you could share that as well.
So how many meals bought, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so we have, we received just over 5,000 euros in funds online. So that means around 500 meals. So everyone buys, when you buy a meal, it's a 10 euro donation. So every 10 euro donation is 1 meal. So we have around 500 meals that we have funds for, and around 126 which have already gone out in the first few days of the project. Yeah, just so I add on something more. We have created guidelines on how to run this project, and yeah, even in terms of PRs, what kind of emails you can send. So if anyone would like to run this project within their country, you're more than welcome to get in contact with me, and I can even share these guidelines with you, Ruth, and JCI Europe. So feel free to use them and ask anything else that comes to mind. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's great. That's really wonderful. And I'm sure there will be some more questions. We have 62 participants now in this webinar. So that's really exciting for everyone. And with that, we will actually move on to our next project. Nicole will be with us until the end of the webinar at 8 o'clock. So in case you do have any additional questions, please type them in the chat box at any time. Nicole, you can also see the chat boxes and the questions. So in case there's anyone that you want to answer directly, please do so. I'll be going on to the next speaker now, which will be Victor. Since we have actually 4 great projects to share, we have to be a little watching the time as well. And with that, I am actually, yes, going to Victor. If I hope that's the right order that you are planned as well, but we'll just run by it now, and afterwards will be Carol. Victor, we've introduced before, has created a really great app, Track My Circle, and I am sure he'll be sharing a lot more about that. Victor, we're excited to hear more.
Hi, good evening everyone. So first, a little bit about myself. I'm Victor. I'm a member of JCI Bucharest, Romania, and I developed this app with my friends 2 weekends ago in the context of this coronavirus epidemic. We wanted to contribute and do something. So as we go often at hackathons and do these sorts of things, we thought of doing something digitally. So we did this app, trackmycircle.com. You can search for it and you can look after it. It's basically an online journal, and you can list there the interactions that you had with the people from the last 18 days. This is a project that will help you protect the loved ones and save valuable time in case of infection or suspected COVID-19 infection. Basically, a user introduces the people they have been in contact with lately, along with health, context, and email details, to have to know the context and on which they interacted. Both the user and each person in the circle are logged into the app. And if you will get if you let's say you'll get infected with COVID-19, then you can mark yourself as infected, and that will send an email to all the people that you met during the last 18 days. So that in that way, they will know that they should self-isolate themselves and keep an eye on their health. Also, you can also download the list of the meetups that you had with other people. So if it's requested by the authorities, you can download it as a CSV format and you can hand it over to them. When you log a meetup into the app, then an email will be sent to that. If you put the email there, of course, an email will be sent to that person saying that that he logged you as a contact, and only the initials will appear. So we want to be GDPR compliant as much as possible. So no full data. Also, the data in this app, the database gets self-destructed after the 19th day because it's not used anymore. So, do you have any questions, Ruth?
Yes. Well, first of all, there's a lot of great messages in the chat. Also, I received a few private. Please note that if you type a question in the chat box, you can either send it to me privately, or you can actually type in the chat and a question to everyone. So if you want everyone to see it, yes, amazing idea. We're getting a lot of it now. So a lot of congratulations to you, Victor. My question is, also, you talked about that you did this with your self-isolated friends in a hackathon. how are you relating this to JCI as well? Can you maybe share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So two of us are actually, so me, I'm actually a JCI member. He was in JCI, was president of a local organization a couple of years ago. So we want this to be a social initiative that started within JCI, and we want to spread it as much as possible. We are, what's important in this, it's the benefit. So this is our main objective. Yeah. Also, I put there the link of the app in the chat so you can see it yourself.
So you said, wonderful, thank you so much for sharing it. And you said that you want other members to spread it. What's the best thing that we can do for you since we have now constantly over 60 participants here? Do you want us to share it on our Facebook profiles? Do you have a specific thing you want us to share? I know some countries already have nationwide, have something in place from the government or from the Red Cross, but even if they do, I think it's still a great add-on. So what's the best way that other JCI members that are listening now can support you?
Yeah. First, they can use it themselves for logging the contacts for the last 18 days. They can log in into the app and then put there the contacts that they had. And afterwards, they can share it on Twitter or Facebook. We have a button there, buttons that you can share it, and let's spread the word and close the circle, as we use on the hashtag.
Wonderful. So using the hashtag close the circle, we also got the message that they would love to share it on JCI social media. So that will certainly give you a big push as well. And then even if we liked it and spread it further, it would also get a lot of traction. And then we have, if you have a final question for Victor, now is the time. We now have, I see two final questions. One is, how many people have actually registered for the app now, Victor?
Yeah, there are almost 4,000 people. They are mainly from Romania, as we spread it in social media in Romania through our friends, from Germany, United States, France, and India.
Something else you want to say, Victor?
No, I was expecting the second question, or?
Yes, actually, there is a second question that also went to me privately, and that's in relation to GDPR. So you said before that it's kind of GDPR conform, or can you share a little bit more about what you mean there?
Yeah, so the data gets self-destructs every 19th day. So after 18 days, the data is not there. Also, if somebody is logging you as a contact, you will see only his initials. You won't see his full name. About the phone, we said there that you can put your email or phone. That's a way of you for knowing how to contact that person. So that data won't go anymore outside of your database, so nobody else will see it. Why do I say kinda? Because we are not GDPR experts. We did this in our spare time. We have, in real life, we have jobs, we have businesses to run. So yeah, also we are searching for volunteers to, if they want to involve into this project, because we got some ideas from the community, like integrate the login from Facebook or Google to log into the app. Now you can create an account based on your email address, but you can, this was an idea to further grow the app, integrate this login. So if anybody wants to contact us, they can email us at trackmycircle@gmail.com.
Wonderful, thank you. So we even have a call for volunteers in the JCI universe.
Yeah.
Great. So if anyone wants to join, you've already met Victor, and we are now working in virtual teams. So please feel free to join. Victor, The email address is also in the chat now, just posted by Manuela. So if anyone wants to contact you, yes. And then also if there's any more questions, please type them in. Victor will stay with us too until the end of this meeting, I hope. I know you're very busy now with also some of the press releases that I've already seen, giving radio interviews and everything. So thank you so much for taking this time and for sharing your project with us. And thank you. And with this, I want to go to our next project, and that's Carol from JCI Ireland, who has also a really great project, and it's Fight Coronavirus with a Positive Mindset. Carol, we are really excited to have you with us today, and please go ahead and share some information.
Great. Hi, everyone. So I'm Carol, and I'm from JCI Ireland. So I'm currently on the national board of JCI Ireland, as well as the director of operation. And my local chapter is JCI Galway. You can see it from here. And so I will talk about the project that we are currently doing in the local level, which is the fighting coronavirus with the positive mindset. So probably before I share what we did for this project, I would like to share some of the background information that how come we started this project and then what's the story. So basically, you know, back in late January, we started to know that, oh, so that's a coronavirus happening. Back in Asia. So I'm originally from JCI Hong Kong, so I follow all the news from Asia very closely. And then we see that, you know, that probably will be the possibilities to, you know, to spread that in Europe. So the original plan was myself and some of the members in JCI Galway, we are thinking that, oh, would it be a good idea to probably organize some kind of public health seminar to talk about this kind of coronavirus, which is kind of new to the people who live in Ireland. They probably did not hear about that at that time. So, and then we started to reach out to some of the, you know, experts in the universities and working in the government, in the public, you know, healthcare system. And then after that, at that time, and then things started to hit in Europe. And then we didn't have a chance to, you know, reach out to those experts because they were like, oh, I think probably we should not do any, you know, face-to-face seminar. You know, it is kind of sensitive now. And what about we do it like online? And then we say that, okay, so probably online is a good idea. But at the end, it didn't happen because they were probably too busy to fight, you know, the coronavirus after that. So, and then we didn't have this seminar going. And then we were thinking, okay, so what can we do now to increase awareness of what is going on here? And so for JCI Galway, we actually have a very close relationship with all the, you know, local hospitals here because we actually every year during Easter holiday, and then we actually organize a project called Easter Bunny Project. So like all the JCI Galway members will dress up like Easter Bunny, and then also with some kind of like Star Wars characters, superheroes characters, we dress up in costume, and then we bought all the Easter eggs to visit the children in the sick children in the hospital. So we have a very close relationship in the local level with the hospitals here. So we're thinking probably, you know, in these circumstances, we definitely need to do something, you know, related to the public health. So so we were brainstorming with the members. Okay, so what we can do now. And we saw that we have two Galway members here, and then they started to you know, created two Facebook groups. One is called like Irish Self-Isolation Supporting Group on Facebook. You can find it online. And another one is Connecting Galway. So these groups will have like thousands of people, you know, from Galway in the local level. And then they were sharing all the news, how are they going to support each other and all that. So we saw that these two are actually a very good platform for us to, you know, reach out to those people. But how can we, you know, try to, you know, being supportive and trying to promote JCI Galway at the same time to show some care to the community? So what we did was we are trying to, you know, start a campaign, which is the campaign that you can see from the screen right now. And we really want to appreciate all the doctors and nurses and also, you know, the healthcare, you know, professionals working so hard in this situation. And this is our first, phase one. So, we started this campaign, and then way before a lot of, you know, other groups. So we started like almost like 3 weeks ago, and then you can see that after that, and we post the post online, and then we have like loads of people started to sharing that, because they know that how hard and how hardworking, you know, all the workers, they're working so hard in the front line. And then so we basically, you know, like right now in Ireland, you are not allowed to get out from your house within like 2 kilometers, you know, around your neighborhood. And then all the stores and restaurants, they all closed down apart from the supermarket. So even though we want to do something like Nicole in Malta, it's really a good project for buy a meal. Like actually we don't have any restaurants opening now. So what we can do now is we can, how are we going to, you know, utilize the resources and the network that we have? So basically we launched this campaign, and then we actually reached like near like 10,000 you know, audience on Facebook on different groups. And then we attracted like 800 engagements on this campaign just for the phase one. And then we have like within like just 2 weeks of time, we have like 200 likes on our Facebook page, a very, very good promotion right there. And then we have loads of, you know, emails and messages and asking about, okay, so what JCI Galway is about, what is Junior Chamber? Because in Galway, we are a very, you know, we are a group that with loads of, you know, with loads of local supporters. So actually we have a very, very good, you know, supportive community right here. So, and then we started to, you know, promoted this, this campaign, and then we shared it to loads of other groups in Ireland, and then people started to share and then talk about it. And we really want to, you know, increase awareness of, you know, the, you know, how hardworking all the frontline workers are. And also we really want to, you know, show our appreciation with the positive mindset. That is, you know, the reason why we are launching that. So for, you know, for the next phase, we are working on trying to show the appreciation to all the workers that are helping us and working so hard during these circumstances. And then it's actually helped us to, you know, build a very good foundation in the local community level, because it's actually people remember this organization trying to do something. And of course, if this outbreak clear later, we definitely will try to, you know, relaunch the Easter Bunny project, hopefully. And then also like do some other, you know, visitings to show more appreciation later on. So I guess this is a project that's like all the local chapters they can do in your community, because it is something really nice, and then people will love to share it. So, and it is very, very good, you know, to approach to other people, and then also, you know, to do the promotion for your, you know, local chapter. So that's my sharing. Any questions so far?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carol. I haven't seen specific questions in the chat, so if you do have a question, please put it in the chat. I have a question for you. It seems like this is also a project, Carol, that's very easily replicable for other chapters. Since that was also one of the goals we shared in the beginning of the session, that's why we're doing this session. We want to inspire other JCI members from all across Europe, and actually any JCI member, also if he's not from Europe, but JCI members from across the world, and see how the project are replicable. So if you can just share a few words about how easy it was to set up, and maybe what were the first steps that you've taken for this project, and if there were any challenges as well that you encountered.
So basically this one is really simple to do it, because you know, it is not like a project that you need to have a big team, you know, have loads of members to help out. And it is very easy to do it. And what you need to do is you, of course, you need to create some kind of images, you know, to try to promote what messages you really want to send out to the community. And on the other hand is you will need to find out, you know, what platform you really want to send out these messages. Because as I mentioned that we have some members, they are the, you know, the group admin of some of the Facebook groups. They have like thousands of people over there. It's very easy for us to reach out to those people. And then it's very easy for us to promote JCI Galway as well. So it's building a foundation for your local chapters to attract more people to know about what JCI is. So it is very easy to do. So what you need to do is just act now, you know, start to do something.
Wonderful. Start doing something is really a great point. I haven't received any more questions, but if there's any more, Carol, you are also joining us and will be with us for the next 20 minutes until our meeting is over. So thank you so much. If there are any more questions, please type them into the chat box. And with that, we will go to our last official project before we hand the mic to our wonderful Vice President, Anna. We will have one more project to share, and that is Jen from JCI Germany, who will be talking about JCI Digital, VJ Digital. And Jen, we shared at the beginning that in terms of this meeting happening, personally, I was also very inspired once your event went on Facebook Live, and I saw that hundreds of comments that kept poking up in my Facebook feed, and I saw everyone there on video sharing what can be done about the Corona crisis. But if you would share a little more what the event was about, what you did with our audience. We have 68 participants at the moment. We are constantly having more than 60, so it's really exciting to be sharing those projects with all of you.
So hello everyone, this is Jen from JCI Germany. It's really nice to meet you all online nowadays. But of course, it's reaching a lot more people than usually. And this is exactly what we did in Germany as well. And I inherited a great community, online community that was already built for the last years, has been built for the last years. And on this format, or in this Facebook group, basically, it is a Facebook group. There we have different formats of digital broadcasting services. So we have like fireside talks, chats, we have digital meetings, we have like tutorials, and we have our monthly meeting. Like, you know, every chapter has a monthly meeting, probably your chapter has it too. And we decided to have a monthly online meeting with the whole national organization of JCI Germany. Of course, when we started, it wasn't like the whole organization, and still there's room to improve. But this allowed us basically to react on the crisis in a very, very fast and effective manner, because basically the Monday after the weekend where everything was sinking in the German community, it was like it was March 17th. That was like the usual date for our monthly online meeting. Just after the weekend where I decided to go on self-quarantine and where everybody just realized this is serious. So, and meaning that people would have to stay at home, getting employees into home office, creating all sorts of problems, financially, economically, health problems, and all sorts of individual problems, logistically and everything. So kind of everybody had a problem, and everybody was affected. So we decided to turn around the usual meeting agenda, and we said like this is going to be a COVID-19 special edition, and we basically had 4 different topics. So we had an update from the national board, which was very important and was asked for from all local chapters, not all local chapters basically, of course, but a lot of local chapters were asking for guidance, and we could provide it quickly. And we gave the national board the opportunity to distribute the message quickly as well, and to say like, okay, this is how we think about it. This is what's going to happen for the national level. And of course, this was also important for the conference planning and everything. So they gave an update on that and how the next projects for the year were at the current moment, the status. Then we had a guest from the local level that explained basically the effects on local projects and how to cope with the effects, and how to digitalize meetings, speakers, and everything else. And then we had basically the creator of this Facebook group, VJ Digital, which is, this is Tobias Maucher, and he was basically giving a quick tutorial about how to facilitate online meetings, how to get online technically, like really first aid in the dawn of the crisis. And last but not least, we had an excursion with two appointees from the G20 Young Entrepreneurs Alliance, who gave an overview about the developments in the whole world, because it was still in Germany, it was in the very beginning where we realized this is for real. And we had to get a quick update on other countries, on the general global thinking. And yeah, it gave us an overall view, and it was quick, fast, effective. It's easy to copy. We are basically doing it right now. And I hope it will help to create new ways of working in JCI, virtual teams like Ruth already mentioned. This is, I mean, a crisis is always a chance as well. It's an opportunity. And this is the great side here in this moment.
Wonderful, Jen. It's a great already ending word, but we will not end now in terms of crisis and chance. But I did receive 2 questions in a private chat. If anyone else has a question that you want everyone to see, please type it into the chat box. The question I received was, you talked about having a lot of people participate. How did you secure the technical equipment, and what would you personally recommend? Was the first question.
So so technical equipment, we basically use laptops, iPhones, generally phones, tablets. And for example, software like Zoom. For that meeting, we basically used the software BlueJeans. As I would recommend Zoom basically, because it seems to be state of the art already. I mean, like everybody accepted that this is kind of the main software, at least in Germany, I have to admit. So, and security was not that important that days, because it worked out fine for several months until everybody got online. And the recent Facebook Live problems, they are really recently. So last Saturday, we had a meeting that was already troubled by Facebook bugs. But in general, it worked out really fine. And as Ruth mentioned in the beginning, nowadays you have to plan with a plan B setting. So maybe a second laptop, second screen that is going to take over if the first connection is going to break down. And of course, regarding the Facebook Live distribution, this is a really convenient thing, as in, nowadays, current JCI generation, there is still a lot of people on Facebook. You have a good reach. It's easier to share than, for example, on Instagram. You cannot share Zoom on Instagram, for example. And so the setup for us is basically BlueJeans, Zoom, and then getting everybody into the comments. Today, we also already had to adapt this and get the comments via the Zoom chat in here. So this is already a plan B setting that you are experiencing live right now. And I mean, it is still, we are getting used to this. We are like in, I mean, I'm in quarantine now for 3 weeks, I guess, something like this. So we are still practicing, and we can get better every time. And so just be prepared to be flexible.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jen. And the last question for you. How long did it take for you to do the planning?
As I said, we have been doing this for 1 year already. So we started in January 2019 when we were like establishing these online meetings. And usually it's like I interact with people in JCI, and I'm like, oh, this is an interesting topic. Don't you want to come to our monthly meeting and present it to the whole national audience? And this is how I get the people for the meeting. And then I basically send them an invite with the links. They get into the meeting. I quickly brief them for technical stuff like mute yourself if you don't want to speak, and get the charger, get something to drink, something like this. And then I basically create a Facebook event where I put in the people. as the agenda, and then I send it out like hell. So spread the word. And that's it. So it's basically not really a big effort. You have to get the people, write a little simple introduction text, put it on Facebook, and that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for being our inspiration again, and for actually having this. I mean, it's wonderful to have people live here on video, and 66 participants in this meeting, steady. There's a few more or less here and there, but that's really amazing for our first meeting. So thank you again, Jen. If there are any more questions, we have about 10 more minutes in the meeting. So please feel free to ask him to Jen at any time. And I think you mentioned something really amazing that I wanted to share at the end anyways, that this is now the time where we can actually have meetings online. It doesn't mean only because we can't leave our house or our apartment that we can't have meetings anymore. I mean, this is an easy tool, even if you want to use Zoom, the basic version, which is free for just 40 minutes, and to inspire some of your members and have a quick meeting and to see how everyone's doing. You could use the Zoom technology. There's probably others in your countries that are free now. Please don't stop communicating with your members. Don't stop being there for them. We heard about the Facebook community groups. There is a lot of options that you have to still connect with your members locally, to connect with your members nationally. And of course, you have the Facebook groups and community with JCI Europe, where we are all connected as well. That was just feedback also from Jen. Thank you so much. And with that, I will give it to our final wonderful presenter of the evening, our special guest. We are so excited to have Anna with us during this first session for us. We know Anna is also a very busy girl, so we are excited that she could make the time and really represent the JCI Europe Board of Directors here tonight in this first session. When we have another session, we will make sure that you are also well represented, but please take it away, Anna.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you everyone for being here. And what I'm going to share with you, it's like just the words from the vice presidents for Europe, that we together hope that we can support you in any way, because we are facing this challenging time as people, as members, and also as leaders. And it's very important to know our role in this in this time. As people, we have to keep our positive mindset as much as possible, not to focus too much on the negative part, but to recognize that all of us are in the same boat, and be kind to each other, to look out for each other, and to put ourselves in the shoes of others as well, because sometimes we are forgetting that. This must be our approach in general, not only now. Stay safe, be physically distant but mentally close, so communicate with each other, as Ruth mentioned already. Keep in mind that it's okay not to be okay. This makes us human beings. Find ways to help as a person. And we are not only members, but we are also people. Help older, vulnerable neighbors that you have. It's just a small gesture to buy them their groceries, not to for them to go out. Maybe you can donate blood, to donate money, to give job to someone who doesn't have one if you're able to do it. Just small things that you can do just by yourself. I will share some good practices and how you can contribute in the event, so I'm not going to lose time here. And maybe you will find your role as a person there. Ask also others for help, advice, support. I encourage you to find the best possible way to use this time wisely, so you can finish something that you didn't have time before to do it. You can be with your family if possible. Not all of us can do it. To learn more, to share knowledge, and also to plan your future. And I also want you to keep yourself informed and share information from reliable sources, because this is your way to help to reduce the misinformation spreading all around us, and help you and people around you to make informative decisions in the actions we are doing every day. especially during this crisis. As members of JCI, we have to keep in mind that during this difficult time, there are many opportunities to grab. So we should be positive and grab these opportunities and make the most of them. Communicate often, be transparent, be honest. Now we can learn and try how to use digital tools. That's what we are doing now. And we are going to use these tools in the future, maybe even more than usual. Now we can find new ways to deliver value for the society. Be engaged in every possible way. There is no small or big actions. Every action matters and can create an impact for your organization, for the community that you live in. Be proactive and find and create possible solutions. You can reinvent your projects in initiatives that you already have. Not mandatory to create new one, but just to find a way how you can implement that in a different way. You can also look for initiatives that are already there, started by other organizations, and join them in your local community. Look for the missing part. For example, in many countries, there are online education implemented now, but is everyone ready for that? There are a lot of students, teachers, professors that don't have computers actually to use while they're using this online education. So one thing that you can do as members, you can actually find organizations that they can give you these computers and bring them to the people in need. And there are a lot of projects done in different countries. So if it's not in your country, you can create one, or if it's there, you can just join them and help. And also think and prepare for the time after this ends. Your organization, community, economy will need any possible support to move forward after that. And now is the time to plan what JCI can do about that. And also, as leaders, we are unable to find alternative solutions to offer value for the members and the community. To encourage and support members to come up, be inspired by innovative solutions. We already started moving online for our meetings, trainings, etc. We learned how different tools are working. I personally did it quite a lot this week. They're amazing tools we can implement in our organization, and now is perfect time to look for them and use them. For example, look for NGO software for TechSoup. I will post a link because there are a lot of good opportunities and either free resources or discounted for NGOs. We can even be even more innovative and try new approaches and learn from others' experience, but also to share, as some of you already did today. There are no limits. I will share one example from JCI Finland that it's really amazing one. They are doing their regional award ceremonies online with all members participating. And everybody is wearing official dresses and costumes, drinking champagne, delivering speeches, etc. And this is done while actually everybody's staying at home. And this is so cool, and you have to see how they're doing it. I was thinking that actually they're doing it, everybody being together. And it's one very important thing is to keep in mind the mental health also of your fellow members and help them, because some of them maybe will need that. And my colleague, Vice President Mark, actually shared some information of a project that was done in JCI UK, and they have some resources that can be helpful for you. I will also share that with you. And to finish, I want to thank first EDC Councillor Ruth and Manuel to take the initiative and organize this session and the more sessions to come and other activities that are planned already. I also want to thank everyone for being able and stepping forward to present today and to share what you already have doing, because this is the example that we already need, all of us are needing. And also want to thank everyone here and every JCI member for being bold and brave to take action and find different ways to support different levels, your family, friends, community, organization, society, country, etc. Every day I'm really, really so inspired to see and hear what different activities are done and by JCI members, and how everyone actually is looking for more things to do, to be inspired to learn how to do more things. And this really makes me proud. And just keep in mind that me and the JCI board of directors and EDC are here to support you in every possible way. Just reach us and say how we can be of help for you, because we don't know everything, but we want to help you in every possible way. And we are members just like you. Thank you.
Wonderful, Anna. Thank you so much for inspiring us with your final words. I don't think there is anything more to say. This was a wonderful statement at the end. I'm really taking this into an opportunity. And I'm sorry my little son didn't want to go to bed by himself. So he has joined us for the last minutes. But I guess this is also JCI, making sure that we adapt to situations. We had to have a plan B. We all have family, we all have loved ones, and we integrate them next to our JCI lives and routines. As Anna said, really using this as an opportunity to come together. We are all here for you. Also, we as EDC counselors will be offering more trainings. Manuela will say a little more about that in just a moment. And thank you so much for joining us in this session and for being with us. We were glad we were able to highlight the first 4 projects, and I can only say that there will be more. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
I also like to thank to everyone for the fantastic presentations of your projects. Thanks for all the impact that you do in your local organizations or even in a national organization, Jen. Thanks, Ruth, for doing the fantastic moderation here. I'm really happy for that. Thanks, Anna, for the fantastic words. And I'm really happy actually about the great collaboration that we have with JCI Europe. So I'm happy to announce that we do much more an online event. So there are a few coming up very soon. They're done from various members of the European team. So we have some trainings that are conducted already, like from Jenny, even on Sunday evening. There was the last one from her side to learn about JCI. Also, Anna, you have already done a few. We will have on the 7th of April the next event with EDC Councillor Draschen, and of course stay curious. In about 3 weeks, soon after Easter, we like to also share with you the next projects and initiatives that you are all doing in JCI Europe to face the Corona crisis and to do the best out of it and to continue with that. So thanks for, of course, also the audience. Thanks for listening. And I hope you got a lot of ideas. We will, of course, share it. I also saw the question. We will share it on our social media channels on the website. Yeah, you can also share it further. And our presentation, our project coordinators that presented the projects today, they are also available. Some shared already the email addresses for further questions. So please feel free to share it and enjoy the evening.
Enjoy the evening, everyone. Greetings and have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a good night, everyone.